again.
WGMU, George Mason University's radio station on the internet at WGMUradio.com. I am Brittany Brooks, and we are live with Virginia's local artist, My Darling Fury. If you want to say hello, we have Todd on the bass, we have Clark on the guitar, we have Joel on the drums, and Danny is the singer. So, you have just heard their song, Blots in the Margins. More music on the way. Coming up next is my interview with My Darling Fury. Stay tuned with us on WGMU Radio.
WGMU wishes to address a recent epidemic of bleeding ears due to songs like...
It was 1989, my thoughts were short.
WGMU apologizes for any additional auditory or psychological damage in playing that song.
WGMU has been fighting the epidemic with fresh music like... and epic artists such as Florence and the Machine.
Get your daily dose of WGMU.
Music going forward.
In 50 feet, turn left. Why are you driving so slowly?
After a few drinks, I'm taking it slow.
Well, you're not fooling the cop behind you.
What?
Get ready to pay in 0.1 miles.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to WGMU, George Mason University's radio station. I am here with My Darling Fury, who wants to let you know they will be playing at the DC9 tonight, the nightclub, at 6:30. Doors open at 6 and admission is $10. How did you guys come up with the band name My Darling Fury?
It's kind of funny. We take really long to come up with any name or come up with any decision on anything, from a photo or how we're going to get to a place. But anyways, because we're too democratic, we're too nice about things. So we probably took like 6 or 7 months to finally settle on a name. And I was always leaning towards names that kind of sound like you were saying earlier, that our actual name, My Darling Fury, kind of sounds like a metal band.
It does.
Well, yeah, I thought of other taken metal bands, like names like Behemoth and Mastodon and stuff like that. I kind of gravitated towards names like that. And the name that I liked was Madam Fury or John Fury. I thought that those were kind of cool, but some of the other guys thought that we should soften it up a little bit and maybe make it a little bit more personal so that it sounded more like our band. So that's how we ended up with My Darling Fury.
I think it does resemble your band a lot, like My Darling Fury. You guys are pretty good with your vocals, and you guys are awesome with your musicians. You guys are just, it's just wow. Like, My Darling Fury, I think, wow. And then I see that you guys are based out of Richmond. So did you guys meet somewhere? Like, were you guys already friends, or were you guys, like, scoping out the scene, trying to find somebody?
Well, we've all been playing in separate bands, or in Todd's case, in orchestras for years now. So, you know, I knew Clark from being in previous bands. We used to practice across the hall from each other in a practice space. And then years later, he and I actually got up and started a little project. And a little bit after that, Danny and our original guitarist, Alex, or second guitarist, were in a previous band together called Gills and Wings. And that band had broken up, and they were looking to start a new project. And they knew Clark because they had actually practiced across the hall at another space from Clark's band. So they got in touch with Clark. Clark joined up with them. And later on, I was brought into the fold, and then through a mutual friend of Todd and Danny's, actually an orchestra friend from the Richmond Symphony, mentioned to Todd that Danny was looking for a bass player, and gave him a demo of the song you just heard, Blots, an original, you know, not quite the same as what you just heard, but just acoustic guitar and Danny singing. And
instantly hooked.
Instantly hooked. And actually, that's the first song I heard of theirs as well. And yes, I gotta say, as soon as I heard it with Danny's vocals, I was very interested.
Oh, shucks.
Oh.
That is a very good song. It's one of my favorite songs so far that I've heard from you guys. So, speaking about that song, that is on the album Licking Wounds, right?
Right.
Opening song.
And where do you guys record that?
Well, we got a few days that we spent in Songwire Studios because that song Blots in the Margin won a contest they were having to get free studio time. So we're really excited, and we used that, and it kind of ended up being like a first draft because it was our first time recording together. There was a lot of things once we got those tracks and took them back to our rehearsal space that we wanted to change tempos or add new parts to it. So it ended up being mostly recorded at our rehearsal space. We put a lot of time into building these things called bass traps to make it sound really good acoustically. And it's a really large space. It's in the bottom of a basement of what used to be an old elementary school. And artists rent out the classrooms, and then they have some bands in the basement. So it's really cool, like 1,200 square feet. So with the acoustic treatment, it ended up sounding really good. And we were going to kind of do it as like demos, but we were really happy with the results. And then we kind of had that comfort factor, like we're recording in our home, what's like our home as a band. So I think that really helped bring out really great performances from us versus being in a studio that you're not used to. So yeah, most of the album we recorded ourselves, and then once we finished recording, I did the mixing for it.
It was good to be able to record it ourselves. Todd has recorded his own solo album of all upright bass only, and all of us have some recording experience, either with bands or having, things at home to record. So it was actually a lot easier than we thought, except for buying all the different plugins and different mics and whatnot. That definitely adds up, but it was a lot of fun. Yes, very relaxing.
Okay, so that being said, what are your favorite bands and who has inspired you?
Well, we all sort of have a core of bands that we all like, and it kind of goes in different directions from there. We all like bands like Radiohead and Grizzly Bear, that sort of stuff. And then, from there, Joel and I kind of dip into heavier kind of bands as well, which obviously is a little different than what we actually play in this band.
Much different.
And Todd kind of has his own direction with that as well in the classical music world. And, same with Danny. Dan, you never know what Danny's up to. Like, he'll be all over the place. Sometimes be like Stevie Wonder, and then
Stevie Wonder.
I like Stevie Wonder, yeah.
Yeah, Brazilian music sometimes.
Yeah. They're like, wait, what?
Mahler
okay,
symphonies.
this is cool. Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah.
So that, however that works out, it all kind of filters into what we do.
Yeah, it comes to a collage somehow, because we all have very diverse musical taste.
That was something that we were actually talking about that the other day too, that a lot of other bands, or maybe even bands that we've been in previously, are just a group of friends from a given scene or circle. So let's say it's 4 of your buddies and you go skateboarding, and you're more likely to do music because you all listen to the same kind of bands, and you'll do that. Say, like, for example, if you listen to punk, then you'd be a punk band. In our case, we weren't friends from beforehand. We met each other in order to make music, and there were certain aspects of what we were doing at the time that we thought was cool. And I think that's why it's a little bit harder to define, because we do come from so many different angles from as far as musical inspiration goes.
So no classical, like, garage scene sort of starting?
Yeah. Maybe at some point in some of our pasts, but not for us, no. Like
Yeah, I was playing in symphonies.
Yeah, he's in a symphony.
They were playing in heavy metal bands.
Yeah.
I had like a pop rock band before that. Also a little bit of a classical background, but yeah, exactly. We're all pretty diverse.
That sounds perfect. I think I hear a lot of the diversity with all you guys in your songs, and I think that's what makes you guys so, like, pinpointing who exactly you sound like. I had to explain to my friend, well, I'm doing an interview with them today. I can't really explain who they sound like. I'm sure if, like, you took Coldplay and Maroon 5 and they made a baby, that's what they would sound like. But I can't say that's exactly how they sound like. But that was my own opinion. I'm sure everybody else is different. Like you guys were saying earlier, a lot of people say we sound like this, but we don't think we sound like them at all.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to a commercial break, so when we get back, we'll have more of My Darling Fury.
Your hard work and determination pay off big time on graduation day. Then what? You have to find a job, and to get an edge over the competition, you should consider pursuing a minor in journalism, a program that focuses on reporting, research techniques, and writing style unique to online, print, broadcast, social media, and database journalism. To find out more, visit communication.gmu.edu and get ahead of the game.
We have commercial breaks and we have weather now. So for today we are at 82 degrees, mostly sunny. Tonight it's 66 and tomorrow 91, partly cloudy, and now it's 80 degrees. So if you're looking for that swim weather, now is the time.
One man and one woman, like so many times before. His hands are resting on the wheel while her lips press to speak. She says, I'll hold you for a lifetime, like these mountains hold the sea. Lean on me. The silence that follows, only tender while the outside roars. Her eyes are lost now in the harrow sky, and he stops the car. He says, I'll follow where you take me, like the sailor trusts the stars. I'll follow my heart. In this silence mouth you will find the love. In this silence lungs you will find the love. In this silence breath you will find the love. In this silence heart you will find the love. One man and one woman, like so many times before. He walks beside her into lava rocks, all covered in green. She says the past is in her future, like this land is holding me. Breathe in, see.
stand inside the doorway to my room. Your arms and legs held wide against the frame. A backlit starfish silhouette who cannot be moved. Come out of your room. Come out, you say. I'm an old curmudgeon stuck in his ways. You're a young and nagging thing who wants to play. A wide-eyed puppy dog who likes to nip at your heels. I forgot how that feels. I forgot how that feels. Love is just a bug you learn to like, and that's alright. It's just a parasite, a friendly parasite. Tugging at my sheets. I wince and then open just one eye to see. Looking down on me, I ask, why won't you let me sleep? You shake your head, 'cause sleep's for the dead. Love is just a bug you learn to like, and that's alright. It's just a parasite, a friendly parasite. Love is for the birds, that's what I've heard, but there are wrong. It's just a parasite, a friendly parasite.
WGMU streaming on just about any smartphone and on the radioflag.com website and through your iPhone Android app. I am here with our local artist, My Darling Fury, and you just heard their song, Friendly Parasite. My Darling Fury will be playing to C9 Nightclub at 6:30. Doors open at 6 and admission is $10 a ticket. So where was the first gig you guys did together as a band, and what was your favorite gig thus far?
We played a place in Richmond called Gallery 5. It was part of the First Friday's Art Walk. There's a lot of galleries down in that area of downtown, and First Friday of each month they have openings, and Gallery 5 has music, so we, wanting to get our feet wet, maybe a little bit on the low, went there and played that sort of unannounced except for close friends. And so and it went well. There was a good crowd there, and you know, it was a good way to get out there and get things happening and worked out well for us.
We had practiced for probably 6 or 7 months before we
Yeah,
took the
that's
plunge.
still, like even as much as you practice, you still go in there.
Yeah.
Well, it took us, getting used to each other, but it definitely, I remember the few weeks before, because we were offered it pretty soon before we played it 2 or 3 weeks before, so those 2 or 3 weeks was, okay, well, we have to get a set now and actually make sure the songs are complete.
Sometimes you need something to force your hand a little bit, especially with us.
Yes.
But yeah, so we've had a bunch of shows that we really had a great time at, and I think everyone else did, but probably the one that stands out somewhat is when we played the Southern in Charlottesville, opening for Kishibashi on that little leg of dates we did with him, and just the place was packed. It's a really cool venue. It's got this real kind of warm, almost like a basement kind of vibe, but it's really not.
Like a den.
But it's really cozy, even though there's all these little nooks around the room and stuff. I don't know, really cool
Incredible
spot.
sound.
Yeah, sounds good. We had a great sound guy that night. Really took time to get things worked out before we went on, and I think that came through on the other side too, hopefully.
Yeah.
So you guys are playing in New York, I see, and it will be on August 4th at the Pianos. Are you guys super excited about that?
We are so excited about it. We haven't. This is our first time playing in New York. We've all been there a bunch of times just to hang out and do touristy things, hang out with friends. It's funny, we created a Facebook event for it, and we tried to find people who live in New York, and surprising, like people you haven't kept in contact with over years that you're like, oh, well, that person lives in New York, so that's cool. You can make connections with people that you haven't talked to in a while. Getting up there's probably going to be an adventure too.
Hopefully not as much an adventure as Toronto was.
Toronto, yeah. So getting to Toronto, that's another story. But so we had this van, we spent a bunch of money on getting it fixed, and we got to ride around here. Yeah. Right, it was like Woodbridge.
180, so not too far.
And it started not leaking. And
oh my
transmission
God.
fluid and smoking and
that's the worst.
Yes, and we're like, oh my God, we're 2 hours in because this is from Richmond. We got up at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
14-hour car ride.
It ended up
12-hour ride. It was part of the North by Northeast Music Festival there, and we made it 110 miles.
And then we said, well, okay, this isn't going to work out. One of our friends said that he would lend us his van. This is a guy in Richmond who found out that shout out to Andy Vaughn.
Thank you, Andy Vaughn. You made everything possible for this band.
Yeah. So we had to go back. Well, and then around Fredericksburg, it completely died on us. And so we had to get it towed over there, and then we got. Anyways, what should have been about a 12-hour drive ended up being over 30 hours.
30 hours? I'm sure you guys were like ripping out
hairs big time.
Yeah,
I had no eyebrows for that show.
Oh,
we
God.
had to draw them in. But anyway, so New York, we're really excited about it. We are not going to go with that crazy van. We're going to rent a van, and hopefully we'll make some fans, and we'll be back there within a month or so. So that's the plan.
Be prepared for the traffic.
Oh, yeah?
Leave at around 8 or 9 o'clock, because when you hit before then, or leave at 4 or 5, it is crazy traffic.
Can't be worse than DC traffic, though. I really think that's DC traffic's the worst.
It's the traffic getting up there that's the worst.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because you're going through so many different cities.
So many of them.
So you might hit
DC traffic, you want to avoid Baltimore traffic.
Well, I'm flying. They're going to be.
Then, of course,
As long as you paid for your own ticket, right?
Right.
It's not coming out of the band fund.
Yeah, we got to make some dough tonight. Danny's got a flight.
So, as a band, what adventures do you guys hope to achieve, or what goals do you guys have set for your bar?
Well, since I guess everybody knows this day and age how hard it is to be a band and make it in the music industry. Kind of to keep it simple, we just want to continue to create music and record it and play it live for as many people as possible. As long as we can sustain that, I'd be happy, because I feel so fortunate to get to make music with such good musicians.
Thanks, Todd.
You're welcome.
I definitely just want to keep expanding, playing different areas that we haven't played before. We've mainly stuck to the East Coast so far, so we'd love to get out west and Of course, the goal is to be able to quit our day jobs and play full time and be able to survive.
Yeah.
More than survive, hopefully, but at least survive off of playing music together. That'd be great.
I wasn't kidding when I said I want an autograph, so I can pay off my tuition with that autograph because I know you guys are going to make it big time. I just have that feeling in my gut. But for now, we're going to go ahead and go to our commercial break unless anybody else has any more goals they want to talk about. You guys pretty much nailed it.
Out, yep.
I think you nailed it.
Thank
yeah.
you,
All right.
First impressions with a potential employer involve eye contact with the interviewer. Allen Media Strategies CEO Burke Allen, who has interviewed many students for entry-level positions, has advice for first-time job seekers.
I can tell you what we don't like. We don't like navel gazers. We don't like people that look down at their shoes. We don't like people that can't give good eye contact, that don't dress neatly. And that doesn't mean you have to wear a suit. Look, I'm a jeans and untucked shirt kind of guy because I work in the music and entertainment business. But I shower at least once a week. And so you have to be presentable whenever you go there. I always say you dress for the job you want to have. Not for where you are now, but you dress for where you want to be. So, it's a combination of all those things that makes the complete package.
The Department of Communication offers opportunities to pursue your dreams in media, film, public relations, journalism, and more. Sign up for an advising session to consider the communication major. Visit com.gmu.edu to learn more. com.gmu.edu.
Submarines and boats float in the lock. The people celebrate the union of two hearts. He's never felt as foreign to this country as today. He walks up the hill, sore and beat down. From the moment we killed, he will not turn his head. He never looks back, 'cause once again the meaning of his words got smashed. I burn in the sun when you go. I know that you're done when you go. We will move wherever we want someday. I will know what you fought myself. Come that day.
and a jump from the end of it all. The rumbling clouds are gathering, conspiring their inspiring terror. I wouldn't bother buying green bananas if I bought them at all. Ooh, oh, but if you were there, falling beside me, I tell you that I'd be the luckiest doomed soul, smashing at the crash of a fall. We'll ride on a Ferris wheel as long as we want to. Nobody would be there to stop us. No fortunes left to rob us. We'll rise and fall into the sky and squint at the flashes. We try to see through our lashes the world that we remembered, that we remembered. Gardens of corpses, hands will sprout and grab at our ankles. They won't even rankle us. We'll slough them off and trample them and stamp them like an arcade game.
WGMU on WGMUradio.com and at Facebook.com/WGMU. I am Brittany Brooks, and we are here with our local artist, My Darling Fury. And you just heard their song, The End of the World. I don't know if you saw that, but we had a picture of a cat up there. Actually, from Joel.
No, from Clark.
No, from Clark. Yeah, sorry about that,
No, no
Clark. I told you I'm a face person. I'm getting used to the names. I'll have it by tonight, though. Tonight.
That's all right.
All right. So, are you guys working on any new music for a new album, or do you think you will try any new sounds if you have any sounds that you're aiming for?
We are. Tonight, actually, we have 6 songs for our set. And the amount of time we have to play, and 3 of the 6 are not on Licking Wounds. They're new tunes that we've been writing for this next album. And we've been in this direction where we want to have more energy, getting people moving more, and kind of, I guess, maybe a little happier sometimes.
A little dancier rhythms as well.
So that's definitely a huge departure from Licking Wounds, which more strings and
yeah.
So that's kind of the direction we're going, and then we probably have 2 or 3 more we're working on right now that aren't ready for live, but so it shouldn't be too long, and we'll have a new album ready to go.
Do you guys have any electronic sounds for this new album?
Oh, absolutely. We're definitely big on the technology, new technologies and effects and whatnot, which you can hear on Licking Wounds, our album, as well. But it's definitely taking it up a little notch these days.
Live, Joel's triggering sounds from a sampler. Me, Danny, and Clark all have harmonizers making other sounds, so our instrument doesn't really sound like a typical bass would, or vocals. It can sound like Danny has like 10 people singing along with him.
But it's really his voice.
It's just me, like I'll sing, and then there's like this effects processor, and that uses it it's a harmonizer.
Yeah.
But so they use it too. So there's some songs, like one song where he's hitting one thing, but there's a thing called an arpeggiator. So it sounds like he's playing like ba-da-dum, and he's just hitting bum. And it almost sounds like a guitar. So there's a little bit of like roll switching. So say, for example, when he plays up high using that effects pedal.
On the bass, yes.
Clark will be doing pretty much playing the bass, even though he's the guitar. So he's playing guitar and then triggering bass sounds with his feet.
I'm
so
aware of that. Yeah. I have plenty of friends that have all those nice, cool gadgets and everything.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting to see different technology and how people use it. I'm super excited that you guys are branching out in that direction, because I feel like you're going to have so much more to work with. I mean, you guys are amazing now, but with that, you're going to definitely get bigger.
I mean, nowadays you can use your smartphone, you download apps with synthesizers on it, hook up a MIDI keyboard or MIDI controller to it, and that is a synthesizer, and do things with that. So definitely we take advantage of that.
And so I know that you guys are super excited about tonight. So can you sum up in 10 words or less? Were you guys able to do that for me about your show tonight to convince us to come out?
Well.
Wait, say your name.
One word?
Which is... Oh, are you guys all doing it?
No. Are we
Oh.
all doing it?
No.
I could do
Is
one.
it going to be like Mad Lib style? Or
It's up to you. I wasn't sure if you guys wanted to do every other person, or did one person just be like, I could totally do this in 10 words.
You do it.
Right?
You do it.
Onomatopoeia.
Vegetal. That's 4.
Frosting.
5. Frosting.
That's
3 words.
That's on
Frosting, that's 1 word.
Yeah, I'm saying 3 total.
Oh, okay.
Onomatopoeia is 1 word, Joel.
Yeah, I was are you doing
We can
syllables
use
or
We
words?
can use each syllable. Onomatopoeia.
You guys are too cool. Too cool. Too cool plus too cool.
Connoting.
Xenophobia.
That's a phobia.
Agoraphobia.
Scripture.
Scripture.
Wombat. Wait,
How many words do we have?
Yeah, only have one more.
One more word.
People are refunding their tickets.
This one is hyphenated.
Hyphenated, okay.
Brittany Rotisserie.
Booyah.
Brittany Rotisserie.
And another reason to come out, of course, is The Sal's. That's who we're opening up for, and they
Amazing.
sound
So good.
wonderful.
I was going to do Your Mama Called She said, "Go see us tonight." Yeah.
Yeah.
10 words.
10 words.
10 words or less. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming out today. I've had a great time talking to you guys. You
Thanks
guys
for
are
having us.
amazing.
Thank you so much, Brittany.
You are very welcome. We have more songs on the way, but first we have Coldplay with Paradise on WGMU.